Okay, alright, okay. So, hi everybody, we're back at the recap screen here, which newly recropped. Whew, okay, so maybe it's just as cursed as usual Wednesdays after all. um,
Tempting
uh,
fate.
yeah, yeah, we flew a little too close to the sun and had a little bit of an Icarus situation. Anyway, we're back. Hi. Caitlin will hopefully join us when she is able. In the meantime, I will return to the recap. Uh, all right. So, um, let's try this again. Um, so Unsure that they could trust Archazon, Peach connected with them telepathically and was able to see Archazon's last days fighting for his people. The ones bonded to Archazon's people easily, finding them to be perfect hosts and using them as a means to anchor themselves in this alien dimension. Once bonded, the ones began to experiment on other species using the DNA of Archazon's people to create more hosts. In some experiments, their potential hosts also gained powers, much like the crews themselves. Archazon fought against the Ones in a last-ditch effort to prevent them from reaching the Nexus, culminating in a fight aboard the ship that would one day become Awakener. Archazon defeated the Ones aboard the ship before they could reach the Nexus, but the conflict left him wounded and their ships adrift in nether space. They drifted for millennia until Silverbreak built and tested their own prime conduit, accidentally pulling the derelict Awakener through. As Peach experienced Archazon's last memories through their telepathic bond, Archazon learned of the current war against the corporations from her. Dismayed to learn that his people's efforts, which were intended to end the One's hold on this dimension, had seemingly been in vain, Archazon decided to take some time to rest and recover from stasis. The crew returned to the Resistance fleet's staging area to find their forces in the final stages of mustering. Aware that time was against them, they decided to give the remaining ships 1 week to arrive before they moved to retake Sulan. While Taeon and Mason worked with the Resistance leadership to prepare, Vix pulled Peach aside with some disturbing news. Vix had received a message from Oneira with a set of coordinates to a nearby relay beacon, where she was holding their mother. Deciding not to involve the crew, Peach and Vix set off in secret to rescue their mother and, if the opportunity presented itself, to end the threat of Oneira for good. And that is where we left off. Um, Hold on 1 second. So, coming right back in, um, basically right there where we left off. Um, Peach, uh, as you and Vix step through into sort of the in between realm that you have opened, um, you kind of focusing on those on that relay beacon. You see one of the doors in this space suddenly warp and shift and change into a very kind of industrial looking, kind of more like a hatch. Um,
Mm.
and Vix points to it and says, "I guess we're going through there."
Yes, we are. Um,
All right. He walks over to it and opens it. It opens onto
mhm.
a kind of darkened maintenance corridor. Uh, as you step into this corridor, you can see that the whole thing there's just sort of like grating instead of deck plates,
Mhm.
underneath which you can see uh, large, heavy, uh, heavy conduit for like all the wiring for this place.
Mhm.
The whole place is lit by kind of like maintenance, kind of that red maintenance lighting.
Mhm.
Um, you can hear all around you the hum of machinery as this largely automated uh, beacon uh, serves its function around you. Vix glances around. She says, She couldn't have picked someplace warm and sunny.
Hmm. No, has to be dark and ominous with suspicious lights.
Yeah. Well, after you.
Hmm. Okay, here we go.
As the two of you step through,
This is this don't I don't think this is the stupidest thing we've ever done.
he kind of thinks for a moment. Maybe not the stupidest thing we've ever done, but it's pretty close.
Hmm. And I'd take a step down the ladder.
Yeah, he follows suit. And as you kind of step inside, you immediately kind of like going down this ladder onto the kind of the deck, the
Hmm.
grating. Um,
Do I hear anything in here?
other than just sort of like the general hum of
Hmm.
machinery around, not so much. No.
Okay.
Um, as you kind of walk down the corridor, though, you can see like periodically there are just these sort of like exterior portholes that look out into just sort of space.
Hmm.
Um, you can even from just sort of glancing out this relatively small port, you can tell that there is nothing out there. No planets, no satellites, no stations. This is just a relay beacon out in space. Um, and as you continue on through, um, a relay beacon is not a large place. So as you
Hmm.
continue, it probably is maybe maybe a minute before you find yourself in what appears to be the central cortex
Hmm.
uh, of the beacon. Um, a circular control chamber, largely intended for any kind of periodic maintenance crews that would make their way out here. Right now, it is completely empty. Vix glances around and just says, "I mean, this place isn't that big. This, if she was going to be anywhere, this is where I would expected it to be."
Let me take a look at one of these monitors. Is there a computer that I can access here
Yeah,
that has any information?
yeah, you can. There are definitely a bunch of like monitors around, and as you kind
Hmm.
of sit down at one and begin kind of attempting to access the information, um, it immediately, as you try to access some parts of it, like immediately begins asking for some sort of authorization key, um, but it's not hard to reach some of. It's clear that some of the functions are unprotected
Hmm.
by an access code. Um, what are you specifically looking for?
I mean, I want to see like the readings on I want to see if there's anyone on this station essentially. Like I want to see if anyone's accessed like logs recently or like like power in different areas. Like I want to try to figure out if anyone else is on here.
Okay. Um, I'll say that as for one of those questions, like there is sort of a basic power reading that you can
Mm-hmm.
access. And
Mm-hmm.
all it is literally all it is just there's no controls or anything like that. You can
Mm-hmm.
just access sort of like a basic reading of the power grid
Mm-hmm.
on this without having to access anything.
Mm-hmm.
And as you do, I mean, the whole place is basically put on low power. In fact, the fact that the life support systems are active at all here seems like it's either some sort of oversight by the maintenance crews that were here last, or perhaps somebody else activated them. Either way,
Yeah.
it's clear that they're not supposed to be on,
Mm-hmm.
without any sort of active maintenance crew here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but as far as life signs on the station, that
Mm-hmm.
is a little harder to access. That's something that you'll have
Yeah.
to try to attempt to break uh, to the system itself. Um,
Hmm. I mean, I think that I could give it a shot. I mean, I'm no um uh I'm no Orzai expert, but I can try to break in these passwords.
okay.
Um I'm just looking at my sheet here.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
so I do have an intelligence power shift that would help me specifically with this kind of role. And I feel like I probably have one. I feel like Peach's basic schooling, she's had a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of like technology training. And then also, I think just from watching in all of these high stakes circumstances of like booting up like the computer and like pulling up the separate code
Right.
to like hack into stuff, like she knows like the basic premise,
Yeah.
but
So,
um
yeah, so this is a maintenance system, and while it is secure, it's not designed to be like you're not hacking a military institution. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
so as you like sit down and begin to hack into it, I'm gonna have you make a roll. This will be an intellect task, and the difficulty of which it will be 5.
Ooh, okay, cool. Cool. Oh, I need to find the right die. Okay. Where are the
Like
d20s
one,
when
two,
you
three,
need them?
four.
Okay. Oh, they're here. Okay, perfect. All right. So it's down to 4 with my intelligence power shift.
Right.
Um, let's see.
As you're doing this, Vix has basically like unshouldered the large rifle and is basically like
Mhm.
watching your back as you're doing this, just periodically glancing over his shoulder at you.
Okay.
But like he's just like watching your back while you're doing this.
Yeah. Perfect. I think that's all that I have. And then I'm gonna do 2 free levels of effort to knock that down
Okay,
to a 2, and then I'm just gonna roll.
sounds good. So you need a 6 or better right now.
I feel like I might need these intellect points later, so 8.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, like you said, you've spent some time around. Like you spent some time around Olim. You spent some time around Ada. You spent some time around
Ada.
Catch. Like all of these people, like they know how to like work around this stuff. You've even spent some time around Wire, who like Wire is rarely one to explain what she's doing, but like sometimes you just kind of looking over her shoulder, you can kind of like pick up a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it actually doesn't take you too much effort to sort of crack some of these security protocols on this random relay beacon out in the middle of space.
Mm-hmm.
As you do, immediately you see like the very like gratifyingly the access granted sort of flash across the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly previously unlocked files begin to open up.
Oh, got it.
Vix looks over his shoulder. He's like, "Where the hell did you learn to do that?"
It's a skill that I've always had,
Sure. Yeah. Uh huh.
Watched
Absolutely.
Ada a lot.
There it is. Um, and yeah, as you begin sort of like looking through, like a good chunk of what has just opened up is
Mm-hmm.
like just sort of general maintenance logs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, most of them being very uninteresting. There is a much more secured part of it that is actually seems to be the local memory backup of the relay for like
Mm-hmm.
transmissions that have gone through, but like that's a much more secured part of the system. So right now, what you're looking at is mostly the maintenance side, kind of like local systems.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you're looking for life signs? Is that what you were?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find.
Okay. Doing a quick scan of the station or of the beacon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there appear to be exactly 2 life forms on board the beacon, both of them located in the cortex.
Are there any unusual like gas readings, like a danger, like any kind of warnings or anything like that on the maintenance logs,
Um,
or like on the system at all that I've accessed?
the only anomaly that you note
Mm-hmm.
is that uh, about 3 days ago, there was like the life support systems were activated.
Mm-hmm.
It was not during a scheduled like routine maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
There is no record of a ship arriving, no record of one leaving. But other than that, you don't see any obvious anomalies.
Vix, I'm getting no signs of life here.
Well, that's either a really good thing or a really, really bad thing.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Um, why don't we search a little bit more of the station here and see what we find?
Okay. Um, he just sort of like glances around again and just sort of indicates with his chin kind of the entrance to the cortex opposite the one that you came in.
Mm.
Um, and he says, I'll take the lead.
Sounds good.
You the two of you sort of walk into the corridor on the opposite side, and
Mhm.
as Vic sort of checks down the corridor, he's both ways, then he kind of steps out and glances around.
Mhm. I want to be like kind of mentally like reaching out as far as I can to
Mm-hmm.
like as any like anywhere I am, just kind of like the radius of like trying to see if there's
Sure.
any mind on the ship.
Um, yeah, I will say as the two of you kind of begin searching, Peach, there's something as you kind of are like reaching out, you feel something. It's not a person, that is pretty clear, but you
Mhm.
do feel like some sort of residual kind of some kind of residual dream signature.
Mhm.
Um, it's similar to your own, but not quite.
Mhm.
It's you detect it as you kind of like detect it. You kind of look up ahead to where Vix is cautiously walking up the corridor, and you can see where there is, um, oh gosh, what are they called? Basically, like a essentially like an access box,
Mhm.
like a junction box kind of thing, just sort of set into the hallway. And as you focus on it, you feel it stronger.
Oh. Uh Careful, Vix, don't go any further
He
up
stops.
there.
He kind of looks around. He looks back at you and says, "This thing."
Yeah, I feel Onira's remnants of her interactions with it.
Okay. All right. Uh, well, what do you suggest we do?
I want to take a little bit of a look.
Sure.
I don't want to get too close, but I want to get a little bit closer to it than I am just to
Mm-hmm.
get a little bit of a better look.
Sure.
You said
Yeah.
it was just an access. What was
Yeah.
it again?
It looks like basically like a junction box that's just sort of like set into the wall of the corridor here.
Mm-hmm.
You can as you look at it, you can see that there's like the signs on it, like the warning sign labels and stuff like that, like you know, uh, like danger, high voltage kind of thing. You know that those sorts of warning signs and labels, and yeah.
Hmm. Can I see up closer, or can I feel with kind of my power? Like, does it feel like reality was like warped here? Like, does it feel like there was something like does it feel like there is um a mental trap on this item?
Are you at? Are
Uh
you asking for an insight? Cause
yes,
okay,
yeah.
go ahead and spend the intellect, three intellect.
Okay.
Um, and I will tell you that yes, it does feel like reality was warped here, but
Mhm.
it doesn't feel. I'll tell you what it feels like. It as you sort of like very gingerly kind of probe this distortion with your mind.
Mhm.
Um, what it is a very minor distortion. It seems like it was a marker of some sort, like left as a marker.
Mhm. Huh. I think this was her way of saying she was here.
Or maybe she wants us to look in that thing. Maybe she left us something.
I think that maybe we should. There's no one here, right? So maybe we should take this thing back into the chamber where it's out of her reach a little bit.
What, you mean the whole junction box? I mean, I suppose I could sit here and try to take it off the wall, but that might be a while. I also might electrocute myself doing it.
Oh, man.
I mean, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but like, I,
How
I
big is the junction box?
it's probably, I don't know. It's not very large. It's probably about the size of of a torso. Like it's so it's not huge, but like it is basically like maybe like 2.5 feet by like 1.5. So
Hmm.
yeah, but it does look like it is like bolted into the wall.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna oh, okay. I'm going to have rubber gloves appear on my hands.
Excellent.
And also on Vix's.
Yeah, he's just okay. That was really weird. That felt very strange.
I made yours grippy so you can still hold your gun, okay. Um,
Thanks. You know, I do often drop my gun, so thank you.
I think you'll be okay. I need you to hold on because I am about to check this out.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Stand here, and if you see Onira, do what you want.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. He just cocks the rifle.
Okay. And I'm going to like so junction box. So they're like switches and stuff on it.
Yeah, I mean, like it's basically what it is just sort of like a protective like covering for
Hmm.
what like there's like fuses and stuff like that. Like not like a fuse box necessarily, but like it
Okay,
does
because
have
I'm
like
imagining a fuse box is what I'm
essentially, yeah,
imagining.
it is kind of like
Okay.
that, but like a much larger one. It's not like set into the wall. It's like sort of set, like it's yeah, basically just a big metal box bolted to the wall, and you can see
Hmm.
all kinds of like conduit, like cable conduits that are like going into it from various directions. Um, it is essentially just sort of like the place where like all these wires and
Hmm.
connections like come together basically and branch off into other portions of the thing. Sometimes the junction box will have like a master switch of some sort,
Hmm.
but yeah. But when as you approach it, you can see where there's like it's not even like one with a lock on it. It literally just has like a
Hmm.
latch. Um,
Okay. If this goes south, I will have a door open here so fast, Vix. Don't even worry.
yeah, I'm not worried. You can see as he takes a couple steps back.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I want to go ahead and I want to get close up to this thing and you said there isn't like a main switch.
I mean, there's just like a latch on the box is all there
Okay, yeah,
is.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna open it up. I'm gonna open it up.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you open it.
I want to see what she did to this thing.
Yeah, inside the junction box as you open it, you can see that there like all these like wires and connections coming in from various places and sort of branching out. um and there you can see like where like many of the circuits are sort of like connected here and like wired in. um but it's very obvious immediately when you open it what was left here for you. As you
Yeah.
see basically just like a single like data screen just sort of sitting propped up inside the junction box.
Is there anything if I look like kind of behind the data screen, does it look like there's anything behind it? Like it's
Nope. It doesn't appear to be wired in, connected in any way.
okay. Um and I bet her energy is all over this
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yes,
Okay.
very much so.
I'm going to very gingerly reach and just carefully, like I'm holding a landmine, draw
Mm-hmm.
it out
Yeah, yeah.
and
You,
just hold it like up.
yeah. Carefully, meticulously, you sort of just begin to kind of reach in, pulling it away, conscious at all moments that there are high electrical currents running through this box.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as you very gingerly remove
Mm-hmm.
the data screen. You kind of wait for a moment. Nothing happens. You can hear Vix exhale behind you. Says, okay. So, great. She's sent us on a galactic scavenger hunt. She's fucking with us, Peach.
She's probably watching us right now.
Maybe. What's on that
Hmm.
thing?
Let's see. And I'm gonna turn it on, like
Yeah.
take a look at it,
Yeah. As soon as the display
project the
comes
data
on,
up.
yeah, as soon as the display comes on, you see what is essentially kind of like a split screen display. On
Mhm.
one screen, you can see what's clearly a camera feed. You're not exactly sure. It could be anywhere, but it's some sort of storage room or something like that. But one thing is very clear: you
Mhm.
recognize right away that there are several figures um, displayed on that camera screen, all of whom appear to be captive. One
Okay.
you recognize um, very clearly as your mother.
Mm.
There are others, however. There are two Orzai there that you don't recognize. There's a human woman and, more disturbingly, two human children. Um, Barely more than one of them, very very young, uh, probably like barely a toddler, and the other one
Mhm.
a little older, a few years older. And you also recognize that there are uh, additionally um, two Chemoth as well.
Mhm.
One male, one female.
Okay.
As you
Are
look,
there? Oh, yeah.
I will say, you do vaguely recognize the female Chemoth.
Who is she?
It's taking you a moment, but as you're looking, Vix just sort of grips your shoulder and he says, "Isn't she one of the engineers from the Bellerophon?"
Uh, I think so.
He kind of shakes his head. He says,
Why would they have her?
he kind of takes a moment and says, "Peach, I don't think they just took our mom." Um, as you're looking at this and you say that, you look at the other screen.
Mhm.
The other screen, as you look at it, you can see on it. It takes you a second to figure out what you're looking at, as there's some
Mhm.
sort of like display of data. And as you
Mhm.
look at it, you start to recognize it as something that you've seen before. These are fleet movements, specifically corporate fleet movements. And as you kind of look a little closer, you can see that what you're looking at is a large fleet in en route to Sulon.
Oh, with these hostages.
As you are taking in this information, the screen,
Mhm.
both screens, suddenly like dim, and
Mhm.
text and large text scrolls across the screen. One
Mhm.
word: choose.
We're not gonna do that.
Vix looks. He says, "I mean, these people could be anywhere. Our mom could be anywhere."
And the fleet movements weren't, they were separate from the image,
Mm-hmm.
from the
They're two
video.
separate screens. One of them
And
showing the.
there was no distinguishing features of the room that they were in or any kind of details.
Not that you can see just sort of right now glancing at it. Maybe with like
Yeah.
more time looking at it, then you might be able to find
Vix, maybe we can take this back and Ada could get some more information out of it or
yeah.
something that we missed.
Yeah, no, you're right. Look. And he kind of points to the camera feed. He says, "This looks like a live feed. If this is a live feed, then it can be traced."
We can figure out where they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a intimidation tactic.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that simple. I don't know. It just feels
They want us to think that we don't have any choices. They want us to feel backed into a corner.
maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not that. Uh,
What? What do you think?
I don't know. It just feels like this is something different. I don't know how to explain it, but
Follow your instinct.
I don't have more than that right now, unfortunately. But this feels different. I don't know. I think there's more to this. Either
Why
way,
would she, why would she lure us here to tell us this information?
I don't know.
Why even tell us this? Well, we shouldn't stick around here. We don't know um what else could be here.
Yeah, either way, I mean, looking at those fleet movements, if that's current, then that fleet will be at Sulon really soon, sooner than I think any of our preparations were going to
We need to
leave us
get
time
this
for.
information back immediately.
Yeah.
And
Once
we
that
can just
once that fleet gets there, I think we can kiss any chance of freeing Sulon goodbye.
do you think by choose they mean choose Sulan or choose to save our
That would
families?
that would be my guess. Yeah. We should get this back now.
Yeah. There's no time to waste.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of like grip Vix's hand and then make a doorway back to the Chamber of Dreams to get back to everybody else.
Sounds good. All right. Um So, as you step through, and from the perspective of the relay beacon, the door closes behind you, the two of you, as you step through into the Chamber of Dreams, leaving the relay beacon deserted once again.
All the lights left on for sure. Like Peach
Yes,
flipped on all the lights before she
absolutely.
left.
Um, we will jump back to Mason and Taeon, who were sort of in the process of like discussing plans with Becker and General Antos. Um, as you're sort of like figuring out the particulars, Taeon, you're kind of helping General Antos as he like draws up like rosters for the various teams that you were planning on teleporting over.
Yeah.
Um, and like helping him kind of to figure out exactly how many you could take in every sort of like go, and then sort of repositioning them into the most efficient squads, basically. Um, after like about half an hour of doing this, Antos just sort of goes, "Yeah, I think this is it. I think
Yeah.
this looks good."
Should at the very least take out any communications they have. Slow down any reinforcements they're able to bring in, and I think that should give us a fighting chance.
Yeah, and over the course of the next week, while we wait for the rest of the fleet to show up, we can definitely do this. There's no need to push, I don't think, on this one.
Okay. Okay.
We can do just sort of we can stagger these, do a couple of day. A sudden influx of brand new people on Sulon would probably not be the best way to go about this. So
Yeah.
we'll take our time, stagger the approach, get as many of our people there ahead of time as we can.
Okay. I suppose we should talk to this squad and let them be the first I teleport. Give them your rundown. And
That sounds good. I'll make sure that this squad has the communications jammers on hand.
okay, perfect. I guess we're really doing this. I didn't think it would get to this point, at least not so quickly.
Yeah, I don't think any of us thought we'd be here just a few months ago.
Yeah. Hopefully we can nip in the bud today and not have to deal with it later on.
That's what I'm counting on. He kind of like turns to where like Becker and Mason are sitting, sort of like watching this whole thing, and he says, "Any word on Wire?" And Becker looks up and just says, "No." She hasn't exactly been responsive. I've got Zaya watching her, and yeah.
That's
I
good at
think
least.
Right now, it's probably best that she's not involved in what we're doing.
I agree. Antos just nods slowly and says, "I don't know. Hell of a blow for morale if her state gets out. Maybe it's best that her condition stay between the people on this ship right now."
Yeah. I agree.
Becker nods. Okay. Maybe the rest of we can talk to the rest of Awakener's crew, get them up to speed as to what we've decided here right now.
Yeah.
And
I think Bean is busy right now, but I could probably go and find Peach and Vix.
okay. Antos kind of picks up the like roster sheets and says, "I'll go. I'll get these to the squads. Have them divide up into their assignments.
Sounds good.
Let me know as soon as you're ready and to start taking people over, and I'll send a shuttle."
Okay. Honestly, tell me when the squad is ready, because I'm ready whenever.
All right. I'll let you know as soon as that happens. Becker nods, and he Antos exits, leaving Ravorza, who's just sort of been like quietly at the back of the room during this whole time, just sort of like literally just very like idly sort of spinning in the chair, in one of the chairs. Just goes, "Well, in that case, I think I may volunteer to be one of the initial squads, to lead one of the initial squads. Best to get as good intelligence as we can as quickly as possible."
Yeah.
Perfect. That'd actually be great. Yes. And I probably won't be able to stick with the squad for long anyway, so having someone take lead once I leave would be perfect.
Sounds good. I'll go catch up with the general. And she stands up and follows him out.
Kind of sighs a bit. We're really in for it right now.
You put it perfectly, I think.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna get my risk and P up and send a message to Peach and Vic saying, "Just went through some plans. Meet us in the debriefing room. I want to run you through them."
So, as you go to do that, I will say that you like it has probably been about an hour since you and your crew have sort of parted ways. And as you go to send Peach a message, you see that you receive one from Peach. And as you open it, it tells you exactly what Peach and Vix have done.
Yeah, it has
I-
the coordinates, and it definitely says Vix and I went to investigate location of mother, and then there's like ... received from Oneira ... coordinates.
I think
Mason-
last time you also did say something like, "If we're not back in this amount of
Yeah,
time,"
yeah,
like
yeah.
So
I don't like the look on your face, Taon. What is it?
Peach and Vix, frankly, Vix being unsurprising, made a very dangerous decision. And I just like forward a message over to Mason so Mason can read it as well.
yeah, Becker just sort of leans over your shoulder looking at it. Like, oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
That's some timing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Well,
we jump there now? Do we wait?
I think literally at this exact moment, you watch as
I would have reappeared specifically where I think Ada would be with this data
okay,
pad.
fair enough. In that case,
Well, let's just say Ada's in this room. Can't we?
I will say this: there is a very good chance that actually, I think Ada did come with you here.
Yeah.
She did. So like, yeah, basically we'll say at this moment you see the door to the bridge. Something very strange happens to it as it just sort of like, cuz it's open. And you watch as it just sort of like warps closed. Like it's just like it just very suddenly, almost like a force field, right, materializing, but it's just like the door closed, which then opens and you can sort of see it superimposed over the actual door. And you see Peach and Vix step out from what you recognize as the Chamber of Dreams. The fake door closes behind them and then vanishes.
Ada, I have something for you right this very second. I need you to take a look at this. I'm so sorry. Make sure that it's not bugged. It is not transmitting our location, please.
Ada just sort of like looks around like, yeah.
Thank you. Very urgent.
They just get up and walk over, grab it, and just you see as they just like connect from their terminal directly into the screen. It says, okay, cutting all external. Oh, okay. Okay, great. Nope, looks like it's clean. There is an external feed, but it's it's receiving, not transmitting.
Yeah, so that was my next comment after I made sure that it was safe to have here.
Ada nods, says, it looks like it's clean. I'd have to spend a lot more time to do like a deep sort of scan of this thing, but just sort of initial traces seems like there's no transmission.
Okay, good. And I'm gonna. Sorry, what'd you say?
Were your investigations fruitful?
Yes. Are you going to explain anything?
Vix cuts across you, Peach, and says, "Taeon, we're from the future. We have an urgent message for you."
So we good one, Vix. Good one, Vix. So
Mason smirks a little.
Everything went great. There was no trouble. No sign of anyone. No sign of Onira. No nothing. But we did find a data pad with some very very some big information. So you guys might want to sit down.
You hear Ada gasp at this moment, and just sort of like a hand comes up to her mouth, and she looks over at you, Taeon. Says,
I just want everybody to be prepared for this. When they see it, just brace yourself. It's a little difficult to see.
She sets it down and pushes it towards you, Taeon. You see like the fleet movements. You can like track that, but also the live feed of several individuals, seemingly captive in a nondescript sort of storage area, and you recognize your parents.
It seems like the corps have them. We don't know where they are, but we're hoping Ada can track them, or maybe one of us can with our abilities.
They have my parents. Who sent you these coordinates? You said Onira.
Yeah, that's what Vic said.
Ada, do you think you can figure out where they're being held from the feed?
I can try to backtrace the signal that the pad is receiving and see where we get from there. I've already started working on it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Onira has. I don't know if Onira has them, or if the corps have them, or if they're the same at this point. But
the fleet movement, we didn't.
They're going to be here a lot sooner than we thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this to Antos and everybody immediately.
Becker jerks a thumb over his shoulder. Says, "If you run, you can catch him before he heads out. He just left."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna run with it. I'm
Mhm.
gonna say as Peach is running out, she's like, I'll be right back, Taeyeon. And just like sprints out to get after Anton.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be able to prepare fast enough before they arrive, and we have no idea where our parents are being. Do you recognize anyone else in this?
Mason, as he passes you the pad, you see your ex-wife, and you see one child that you recognize and haven't seen in a long time, and one that you don't fully recognize, other than through in photos.
It's important that we stay focused on the mission at hand. You can, like, Mason is very, very disturbed, more so than usual, and his usual calm demeanor of being able to kind of have is definitely coming to a breaking point.
Yeah.
Looks like they had all our numbers.
Yeah. Shit. Judging from the fleet movement, can I tell if it's going to be like within the day, within the week? How can I tell how soon they're going to be arriving?
They will be. So, from what you can tell from the fleet movements, you can tell that they're being routed from an area just outside of Ascendancy space. Which means that they have a bit of a head start on the Resistance fleet, but theoretically, it is theoretically possible for the Resistance fleet to make it there first if they leave like now, maybe. It would be. It would require some pretty. So when I say it is theoretically possible, what I mean is Awakener could do it. A whole fleet, much more difficult.
Okay.
Awakener could certainly make it there first, before the fleet. The whole Resistance fleet, probably not.
By how much would the fleet beat the Resistance? Would it be like days?
Yeah, it'd be probably by 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. What does she want? Why tell us this?
I think at this point, like Peach has warned Antos and like is coming back in.
Yeah, Antos's reaction is just very much like he hears everything that you have to say, nods, and says, "I'll start mobilizing now." And then just without another word, he and Revorza immediately like start like back and forth like planning as they board the shuttle.
Good work. Peach kind of takes a breath and then spins on her heel and goes back into the room.
Yeah, you can kind of see you return to sort of like everybody just sort of like silent and deep in thought, like, or just sort of processing. Becker is sort of like basically running the same calculations, Tam, that you were like sort of asking about. He's sort of like he finishes up basically like Peach just a couple moments after you return. He says, I've got a simulation running, but from what I can tell, there is no way that the fleet is going to beat theirs to Sulan. They're going to have a couple of days on us at least to set up defenses, and that place will be impenetrable. They know we're coming. They're expecting us. I mean, unless you know some way of... Unless somehow while you were away you've discovered some magical way of manipulating conduits to our whims, then, like, I don't see a way that it's going to happen.
Manipulating conduits to our whims. What is that?
Nothing, just something I talked to the professor about months ago. But
we might know someone who can.
that wasn't a real serious suggestion, right? Like that was
Yes,
just.
but this is a very serious
Taeon, you
answer.
read my mind.
But I need this to be
What
kept
the hell?
between us here.
Okay,
and
what's going on? What the
nobody.
hell did you find on that planet?
Come follow.
Yeah.
He kind of like. Okay.
We'll be faster this way. Trust me.
He says, "Are we going to Awakener? Is that what's happening?"
Yes, actually. In fact,
All right.
no one's gonna
Give me a
place
second.
hand.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, you just watch as Becker just sort of there's like a portal opens, and like immediately looking through it, you can see the hangar where Awakener
Excellent.
is.
Yeah, we just walk
through.
Yeah.
The whole time, kind of saying, what we're about to tell you and what you're about to see cannot leave us as a group. The rest of the Waker is aware, but no one else is. Not even anyone on the Resistance, and we need to keep it that way.
I did work in intelligence. I can keep a secret.
You'll see why I'm worried about this one, though.
Okay. Let's see this highly sensitive secret. As you board Awakener, you head directly for the. Actually, at this point, I'm not entirely sure that you know exactly where he is, but you board Awakener, and I will say that you do see you see Jade, who is currently like running inventory on some of Awakener's supplies in the hold. As he looks over, he says, "Oh, hey, oh, hi, Becker.
We need to know where our guest is. Do you have any idea?"
Jade just sort of like looks between you and like quickly processes and just goes, yeah, Abriel wanted to run some additional checks. He should be in medbay."
Okay.
Thank you.
Jade, you might as well come with because this will definitely involve you as well.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll be interested in this one.
So you make your way up to medbay, and as you enter, you can see Abriel is there. The outcast is sort of sitting on one of the like kind of doctor's stools near Abriel's desk, and is just sort of like watching with interest as Abriel is sort of running just sort of general checkups on Archazon, who is once again sitting on the patient bed. As Becker steps in, he just stops and he kind of like looks around and says, "What's going on?" Abriel looks up and says, "Did something happen?"
Yes. The outcast, could you mind giving us the room for a moment?
The outcast stands up, nods, and says, yeah, sure." As he like walks through, sees Becker, and he says, Becker just says, "Hey." He says, "Hi, I'm the outcast." Becker says, "Okay, great." And he just sort of walks past him. Becker goes, "No."
We'll explain that one later.
Yeah.
But this is Archazon. I'm gonna say this to make sure this is right. This is Archazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not getting
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Archazon, and I point to Archazon.
Archazon looks and says, "Greetings." He says, "Hi. What the hell is this? Not you, this. I'm sorry, the situation. What is this situation?"
We'll explain how exactly we ran across Archazon here, but gonna keep things short. Archazon is one of the people who created the conduits. I can't say literally one of the people, but at least one of the species who created the conduits long before any of us were around.
You can see as Becker just sort of like takes that, kind of processes it, and just sort of,
It's
okay.
the truth.
No, I believe you. That's why I'm taking a second.
Yeah. You see why I'm worried about this getting out to anyone.
Yeah. No. I understand. And you think that he can tell us something about the conduits to get us?
It's the best shot we have. No one else knows conduits or has any information on conduits like our friend Archazon here and the caretakers. And I don't think the caretakers of the conduits near our fleet is going to be doing much talking to us.
Archazon says, you require assistance navigating the gates.
Yes, like we mentioned, the corps have more or less been taken over by whatever entity that you and your people had been fighting, and they're on their way to Ceylon, far faster and with far more people than we originally had planned. And without some kind of help with the conduits, I don't think we'll be able to make it on time.
We thought that you might have a level of knowledge that would be able to help us stop as much of the bloodshed as we can.
I see. I am confess that I am no engineer, but I have perhaps some basic knowledge that outstrips yours of the gates. I will do
No,
what I
absolutely.
can in order to assist.
Thank you.
I think that's good. Between you and us and some of our skills, I think we can make a pretty solid attempt here.
Becker nods. Okay, that's all well and good, but we're still going to have to deal with not just basically one way or another. We're still going to have to end up with dealing with the force that's there already, one that we will not have the benefit of preparation like we were planning.
Yeah. How are they traveling? Are they traveling using conduits?
They are traveling using conduits and FTL because they can reach specific conduits, and then we'll have to FTL between the ones that are known. But yes, basically.
Could we reach any of the conduits before they do, and with Archazon's knowledge of them, send them in a different direction, a different place, or at least spread them out? If we can deal with half of the fleets, one after the other, be better than all of them.
Yeah, if we could intercept their travel.
Manipulation of the gates is impossible away from the gates themselves. Manipulating the functionality of them requires either presence at the gate in question or the vehicle navigating them. However, it might be possible to, depending on the routes being used, I might be able to expedite some travel. As I said, I am no engineer, and even when my people were at their height, I did not have, well, particularly high access to such things, so my manipulations of the gates will be somewhat limited, but I could perhaps assist in some way.
Again, that's perfect. It's better than what we had before.
Very well. I will require a navigation system.
Yes. Okay. So they mean like a map, right? So I'll probably just get up
No. I require a shipboard navigation system for which I can within which I can input coordinates and code.
I suppose the Awakener's probably the best ship for that.
Becker nods, says once you get that done, transfer those coordinates, send them out to the fleet, and he nods, says we will talk about all of this later.
Yes.
I would ask how you're going to handle the other situation, but right now my focus needs to be on the fleet. So
yeah,
I will
deal with the other.
Trust you to figure that out yourselves. As long as let us know what you need.
Thank you.
And for what it's worth, I'm sorry.
It's bound to happen, I think.
Frankly, it's a miracle it hasn't happened before now.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice to meet you. I'll see you later. And he doesn't even walk out. He just portals out. Yeah.
Okay. Let's head back to Ada and see if they've made any headway.
Yeah.
Abriel just says,
"Oh yeah,
is someone going to explain to me what's happening?" I take it
yeah,
everything went to shit.
Yes.
And some.
Aye.
One, Onira seems to be fully aware of what we're doing because they sent Peach a message of sorts. They have Peach's mother as well as family members of all of us, I'm led to believe. And the fleet of the corporations are on their way to Ceylon soon. So we have 2 problems to tackle now.
I still don't understand why she showed us their hand.
I don't know, and I'll be entirely honest with you, I don't have time to figure it out. I just need to deal with this hand that they've shown.
She wants to displace us. She knows showing us this is going to seriously mess with our heads, so we have to stay focused.
Yeah.
We have to somehow get on that ship.
Let's see how Ada's gone with the tracing of wherever that signal's coming from. And I will teleport everyone back.
Okay. When you say everyone,
I'll definitely teleport Peter and obviously Mason, and I'll turn to Jade and just go, "Do you want to come with?" Or...
I'm gonna help him with the navigation system.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be there as soon as I can.
Okay, Abriel.
Abriel just yeah, take me.
Okay, and I'll teleport Abriel as well.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, once again, finding yourselves on the bridge of Wire's ship, Ada, like you can see, has not only the like one data screen, but also like a whole bunch of other devices that are sort of out and like hooked up to each other, and just is like running like a series of like programs on their terminal.
How many people, I guess above game, but also within game, how many people have we identified in that feed? I know we've got my parents.
Yeah, so you have there's yes, Taeyeon's parents, Mason's ex-wife and kids. You can see Peach's mom, and there are 2 Orzai there as well, who like that don't
we
look...
assume are probably Bina's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure that just want to make sure there aren't any other people outside of the crew that that might be targeted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like
Ada,
that's where it is has been limited to. But yeah.
Ada, is there any way that you could track the location?
She just sort of like, that is what I'm doing, and if I could just take just a second, maybe I could get somewhere. She just sort of stops, closes her eyes, and says, "I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. I know this is..."
It's fine.
No, I know you're doing your best, Ada. Thank you.
And you can see as like the code continues to run. She goes, okay, I'm getting a location. You have got to be kidding me.
What?
She just shakes her head. Said, I tracked a location, but you said you found this at a relay beacon?
Yeah.
Well, I'm being routed to another one. I've tried to trace from there, but she's gone through a lot of trouble to obfuscate the originating signal from this thing. If I had to guess, I would say, and Vix interrupts and she says, "Galactic scavenger hunt. Fantastic."
Do you have the coordinates? I can probably take us there.
I really hate me.
Ada says, "Yeah, I think I can do something about that. Are you sure you want to go with just this?"
If possible, we would love to have Bina as well, but other than our immediate crew, I don't think we should get anyone else involved.
Okay, gather up who you can. I'm gonna make another attempt at this. Okay.
All right.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
She just sort of like before you turn to go, she just grabs your wrist, Tan, and just sort of looks up at you and squeezes, and doesn't say anything, but then just sort of goes back to what she's doing.
Tan just nods, tries his best to smile, and then heads out.
We'll get them.
All right. With that, as you set out to gather the rest of the crew, I think we're going to take our break now. Yeah, so we're going to take our break. We're going to stretch. We're going to breathe. We're going to drink some water. We'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. We have returned from break, rejoined by Caitlin.
Survived the tornado. It wasn't actually a big deal. It was just I had to go to the basement. So also my power went out.
Yeah. All right. So when we left off, the crew was assembling for reasons. Caitlin has not been made aware of what happened. So, we will cut over to Awakener, kind of an engineering of Awakener, and where Bina and Alma have basically been for like the last hour, like sorting tools and just sort of like making sure everything is in order. So, as we cut in, you can see like the two of you kind of largely working in like a companionable silence for a while now. You can kind of feel Bina from Alma, just sort of like a general sense of like kind of contentedness while you are working. But as that happens, you start feeling from somewhere else nearby a growing sense of disquiet and anxiety. And as you look up, you see Taeyeon. And was it just Taeyeon coming around the corner, or?
I mean, if people want to, Taylor definitely was going to find Bina, but if anyone else wants to come with, obviously they can definitely come with.
Okay. So at the very least, you see Taeyeon coming around the corner. And
Yeah, I would have come to find Bina.
Okay, sounds good. Freeman,
Yeah.
is Mason there or elsewhere?
I think that's what I think that was with
Okay, cool.
with Tan as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Sounds good. So in that case, you see the other three walk up, all of them with matching dour expressions on their faces.
And feelings in their gourds.
Yes. Alma
Hello.
looks up at you first, and then follows your gaze, and just sort of puts down tools and steps back.
Something's up. Not sure
Yes.
what. And we will come and
Yeah.
meet
We
you
have
halfway.
some.
Yeah,
We have some bad news.
Oh, when don't we? Okay. Bina like shakes out all of her arms and goes. Okay.
So Peach and Vix went on a start of a scavenger hunt, is honestly the best way to put it. Onaira reached out to them and got them to go to a relay station, where they found this tablet, and on it is, well,
Yeah,
just hand
we'll
it
say
over.
that what you have is basically like the feed from that, because
Yeah.
Ada still needs
Yeah.
is still working on the screen, but you have the feed from it. And so as you get this swiped over to your terminal, Bina, you can see what is essentially sort of like a partition screen. On one side, what you see is like fleet movements. Looks like corporate fleet movements, with a corporate fleet that is currently en route to Sulon. The other screen is what appears to be a live feed from a sort of nondescript storage room, possibly, where there are many people, all appear to be captive. In there, you can see, you recognize Peach's mom because you've seen like images of her before. You see, three humans, one adult woman and two small children. One of them probably not much older than 5 or 6, and the other one barely a toddler. You also see two Chemoth, a man and a woman, and you see two Orzai, and you recognize your parents. And additionally, across the screen, sort of consistently, is one single word: choose.
I think they want us to choose between stopping the fleet or saving our parents.
Naira knows that we don't have time or the ability to do both of those things at the exact same time. She's trying to lead us on a scavenger hunt to divert our attention.
You're muted.
What's real?
Hmm?
How do we know it's real?
Ada has found where at the least, very least, where it's coming from. It's being relayed through another relay station, and at the very least, from what Vix and Peach have said, it sounds like it's going to be a cosmic scavenger hunt.
I mean,
We're gonna have to
Bina,
go there.
you can try to call if you want to see if it's real. I haven't.
I
Yeah,
don't know
Beta
if we
pulls out
want
her
to.
communicator,
Mhm.
and she's gonna try to see if she can call home.
Yeah. You can see as it just shows like the connecting symbol, just sort of connecting. It just goes on, and then it just clicks. Alma looks at you and says, "It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not. I mean, they might be out. They might be."
I can't. I can't risk it.
Well, what can we? We can't leave. We can't.
I spoke to Arcazon, and Arcazon is probably going to be heading up to the bridge of the Awakener now, to essentially give us some coordinates to speed up our process of the fleet arriving here, our fleet arriving here. But I'm not entirely sure how much sooner we will have our people here in comparison to the corporations. So either way, I think we might end up being away from for the majority of whatever goes down here. But we have to talk to Arcazon and see what they've come up with so far to know for sure. All we have right now are the coordinates to wherever this signal is being fed from, but Ada said that it's being bounced around, so this is just one of the points of relay. I have the coordinates. I can take us there now. Yeah.
Wherever they are, and Mason points to the three humans. I'm going there.
They have to.
Yeah.
And Suzanne won't be alone, right? I mean, we have people here. We can come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can come back just like that.
Yeah.
How many people can we get to Sulan before we leave? Before we leave them?
Depending on how many of the squad members are ready, I can probably take up to about 45 people in one go. If I want enough juice left in me to take us to where we're going, and I'm assuming probably other points as well, because I don't believe this is going to be the last stop when I was going to send us to. I probably have to cut that down to maybe 20 people. If you have any juice left in you, Peach, if you could help out as well, we could bump that back up to the 45 or even more. But that's just the people on the ground who's going to be dealing with communications and the likes. When it comes to actually the ships that will inevitably be in battle, there's nothing we can do until Arcazon has sent us the best route. All of you get ready. I'll see how the general's doing and if they need my help at all. And if I can, I'll jump people down. But once I'm nearing that threshold, I'll be back up here and take us to the relay.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's a plan.
10. Yeah. And 10 will head out and rush, if teleport and if need be, to wherever the squad is most likely getting prepared.
Yeah. There would definitely be like a flagship that you would know, you would recognize from your time at the Resistance base. It was sort of like the largest ship that the Resistance had at their command, which is sort of where General Antos has sort of made his flagship for this operation. Um, so that would be the place that you would know to go. As like Taeon leaves, Alma turns to you, Bina, and just says, "We're gonna get him."
Yes, yes. What can we get Sulan to?
She kind of hesitates for a moment and just says, "I think it's like you said. Sulan will have help. Sulan will have the resistance. Your family members, they don't have anybody right now."
I left them behind so they would be safe.
The war doesn't just stop at our houses.
I didn't contact them. I didn't look them up. I don't even know how they've been. And I still got them in trouble.
You're not alone in sharing this burden. We'll get them. And Mason's going to turn around and head to... We're on Awakener? Sorry, are we on Awakener still?
You're kind of an engineering on Awakener, yeah.
And Mason's going to head to his office/room.
Okay. Okay. We'll just sort of like quickly run through some stuff. So, Taeon, you kind of assisting General Antos, kind of finding your way over onto the flagship, and as he finds you there, basically like the fleet is already like it is sort of chaos, organized chaos, but chaos as there are like people just sort of like running, trying to like get mission ready essentially. And as you find General Antos in the staging area of the flagship, issuing commands, and as you arrive, he turns and says, "Good, you're here." He says,
Yes.
"We can't afford to take the time that we were going to have before, so we're going to have to run a delicate balance here of getting people on to Sulan without making them extremely obvious. So we're going to get as many people as we can there with as discreetly as possible. I've narrowed it down to these 5 squads here. And if you think we need to narrow it down even further, I have my recommendations as to who we're cutting."
So 5 squads, how many people is
About-
in each squad?
There's about it's 5-person squads. So
5.
yeah.
Okay. I think I can do everyone here.
All right.
It'd be, yeah, I can do everyone here.
He pulls up a map of Sulan, and he says, "We've identified some key points here, 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 and here." He says,
Okay.
"Each location has a squad designated to it. They know where they're going." He says, "Oh." He he looks to you and says, "Whenever you're ready."
Okay. By the way, I just need to let you know that once I drop everyone down, the crew of the Awakener is going to be a bit preoccupied with some other things, so you might not be able to reach us for a bit. Seems to be we're fighting on 2 fronts now. I'll explain as much as I can once I've dropped everyone off, though.
He nods and says, "All right, yeah."
And yeah, I will first take the first squad.
Okay.
And
And I can also help with this too. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Peach would also be there helping transport
Okay.
people.
Yeah. All right. So while that is happening, y'all are transferring some folks to Sulan. What's Bina doing?
Trying not to cry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're gonna jump there with superpowers, so she doesn't have to. The ship is just she sits on the floor.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Things really hard. She's not a like militant person or anyone who knows how to do plans stuff, and she was kind of went little blue screen there trying to be like, well, we can't leave Sulan, but I will not leave my parents there.
Yeah.
So she's trying to be like on the level as her peers who are good at this kind of thing, and she is not. And so I
Yeah.
think she's just gonna sit and wait until she is summoned.
Yeah.
She doesn't
As
know what to do.
you sit kind of on the floor there for a while. You're not even sure how long. And then you kind of gradually become aware that somebody is sort of leaning over you. And as you look up, you can see that Alma is like kneeling on the floor in front of you. She says, "It's gonna be okay. We've gotten out of worse jams than this. I know families weren't involved then, but that just means you'll fight that much harder." She says, "I know you need something to do, some way to feel useful right now. So why don't we go find Ada and see if we can help?" Okay?
Yes. Good.
And she stands up and holds out her hands to you.
All four.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she helps you up, and just sort of holds your hands from and just sort of squeezes. Says, "We're gonna get this. Okay?"
Who got this?
And she squeezes one more time, and then like lets go with one hand but not with the other, and just sort of like kind of moves along with you out of Awakener, back to the bridge of Wire's ship. Mason, what are you doing?
Okay, Mason goes and opens his door, closes it, and kind of just looks at the empty hat rack and the mirror that's there, and kind of just like looks at the bags under his eyes, and then just yells very loudly.
Yeah.
And then walks over to his desk and is going to open up the first drawer and pull out the chain necklace with a gold ring on it, and just put it around his neck and tuck it in, and is going to gear up.
Okay.
It's just going to go to all the hidden places and just like attach guns to every part of his body.
Mason has been hoarding them over the years, just like one here, one there. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, boot gun, one in each pocket.
Okay.
And is going to pour a glass and just kind of like drink it real quickly, put it on the table, and then walk out and look for everyone else.
Okay. Sounds good.
Just needed to scream.
Sometimes you gotta. Sorry, I looked at chat at the worst possible time. The glass is also a gun. All right. So, you all gather up once again on the bridge of Wire's ship, having completed your preparations and tasks. Alma sort of bringing Bina there and assisting the two of you, assisting Ada sort of set up whatever sort of jerry-rigged contraptions that she's got sort of hooked up to this data screen. At the end of it, as everybody is gathering up again, Ada just sort of shakes her head and says, "No, nothing. Whatever she did to hide her tracks, she did it very well. The coordinates are just leading. The signal's just coming directly from this relay station. My guess you're going to find another screen like this one that is being used to as a receiver that isn't hooked into the relay beacon's system, making it basically impossible for me to backtrace. So once you get your hands on that, then I can set to work tracing from there.
Okay.
Thank you.
So how are you going to do this? Are you the fastest way to do it, frankly, will be to bring me along.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask if you wanted to come along. Yeah, let's do that. I can do that pretty easily. Is everyone ready?
Kind of looked at everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Vix would also be coming. On
Yeah,
this.
Vix is absolutely.
Vix is here.
I think Jade would insist on coming, but it's up to you whether you allow him to or not. Also, Stella Luna, thank you so much for the raid. Hi, everybody.
Can Taeyeon take? Is that a number?
Yeah,
that
how
you
many?
can-
Yeah.
Let me check. Oh, yeah, I can. With effort, I can just add
Okay.
3 extra people to everything. Yeah,
Sounds
so
good.
I can take one easily.
So you can take everybody
Nice.
here: Ada, Vix, and Jade.
Yes.
Okay, cool. As you're preparing to do this, like Becker, who is also here, still on the bridge, turns to all of you and says, "Look, as one of the leaders in the resistance, I would urge you to reconsider and focus on the mission at hand on Sulon. As your friend, I say go get your families back and get back to us as quickly as possible. But we've got it handled. Okay? Whatever time you need, take it. Whatever it takes to get him back, don't let him go."
Yeah. Thank you.
We will.
All right. Good luck.
You too. And I'll jump us.
Okay. All of you feel that folding of space once again as Tan just sort of creates a bubble of folded space-time around you. And you see yourselves just sort of rushing faster than thought can even practice through stars and suns, or through stars and novas and all sorts of astronomical phenomena that's just sort of passing by you. Seeing the relay beacon in the distance rapidly approach as you suddenly find that there is in fact no space between yourselves and the beacon, and you step through into sort of the central cortex of the beacon, finding yourselves there in an instant. As you begin to search around, Peach immediately, now that you know what to look for, you can immediately pick up that sort of distortion that was left behind by Oneira as a marker.
It's this way. I can feel her. She's not here, but she was.
Okay, yeah. Lead the way. And Ken will pull out his rifle and prepare himself as he follows.
Yeah.
Can I use premonition to learn anything I can about the her being here at all? Like just anything, just to
Yes.
you learn one random fact about a creature or location pertinent to a topic you designate.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to offer you a GM intrusion.
I'll take it.
Okay. Go ahead and take the XP and offer the other one to somebody of your choosing.
All right. I'm gonna give it to Mason because
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, maybe tear up.
Yeah. You immediately begin trying to sort of pick up on whatever kind of energy, residual energy she left behind having been here. This
Exactly.
Alternate universe version of yourself. As you begin sort of trying to see through eyes that are not your own into this place, you suddenly, it's this strange like feedback loop where you are staring at yourself. You're staring at the back of your own head, and you can see that that you is staring at the back of your head, and that you is staring at the back of your head, and it goes on infinitely. You feel a sudden wave of vertigo, and a pain. Like you get like that sort of high pitched whining in your ears, like the sound of like kind of like a tinnitus kind of sound as it just whines loudly, like feedback, and you just sort of pull back from it. Go ahead and take 3 points of intellect damage. And
so I have a +3 armor to intellect defense, so
there you go.
Does
so
nothing,
it does
but
nothing.
It just hurts.
It just
a little.
hurts, and you can see
nice.
as like a little bit of like blood just sort of trickles out from Peach's nostril.
You kind of see Peach like reel back, like as if she was like punched. She doesn't fall, but she just kind of like is...
everything all right?
Yeah, I tried to see what Onira was doing here, and what she was doing here is giving me a big headache.
Vix just goes, "Oh, good, no change then."
Yeah, didn't get anything, unfortunately.
He kind of looks at you and says, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
All
My
right.
brain's tougher than her brain.
Well, at least that's good. We have that.
You at this point.
For exactly.
Oh, the junction box up this way.
Yeah, you find it exactly in the same place that it was in the other one. And reaching for it, opening up the junction box, you can see another, just as Ada predicted, another data screen, identical to the one that you had before, on it. This one has the feed as well, the same feed.
Well, let's see what these breadcrumbs have to say.
Ada just takes it and sits down cross-legged and just sort of like hooks it up to like the pieces of the jury-rig apparatus that she was able to bring with you. Starts hooking it up and saying, "Okay, this will take me a second." She goes, "Actually, I have a better idea." She sort of looks around and says, "This is a big relay hub."
Yeah.
Which means that there are powerful transmitters and receivers here. Here.
Ina's up and pulling open a control panel.
She says, "Actually, the cortex is probably the better place." And she like returns to the kind of the cortex. Is with much more ease than Peach was able to manage. Ada is like, without even thinking about it, just hacks the system on the beacon and just begins patching in the screen and just starts running the calculations.
I glance over at Vix and like look at Ada. It's like, that's how I learned.
Vix shrugs, says, "I don't know, I kind of like the way you did it, you know, it took more time to sort of, you know, just sort of enjoy the moment, enjoy the atmosphere, you know."
Yeah, I had to build the tension.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't have enough.
You can tell that Vix is definitely in one of his joking moods where he's like very anxious.
Yeah.
It's the kind of like, he's always like this a little bit, but this is very specifically like the sort of permutation of it where it's like he's kind of trying to cover it up.
Yeah, Peach is trying to give him something to work with here.
All good over there, Caitlin?
That was a really loud thunder.
I heard it.
I muted it halfway through that really long. Well, I was gonna say, well, I was unmuted before the thunder interrupted. I was gonna say that Vix and Bina, the fucking hyperactive empaths, are sitting here fucking riling each other up on accident. They're just like both like tapping their feet like incessantly, like
Yes.
ramping each other up a little bit.
Mason's going to just kind of be pacing around the area and is just going to like just kind of poke around and just try to. He's going to investigate this area for anything, if he can.
Wait, come here. And she's gonna slap you on the shoulder. I'm gonna give you stimulate.
Oh, thanks.
And then she goes back to bouncing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I will. If what you were angling for is ciphers.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Cool. Because I was gonna say
Uh,
that's good because this is one of those places where you are very unlikely to find something like that. So I'll give you that right off the bat. But what
no.
kind of stuff are you looking for? Just sort of.
I want to use investigator ability, and I'm going to spend to kind of like draw a conclusion. And
Okay. How does that work?
I want to. It works like I observe an area for a couple of minutes, and I learned one pertinent fact, and I think I can do this a couple of times, but it's just a difficulty 3 intellect task, which gets higher every time, and I get to learn one. Excuse me. I can learn a pertinent fact. That's what.
Okay.
That's like the big thing here. Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead and give me then a difficulty 3 intellect task.
Which is gonna.
Which is gonna be 0 because thanks to
away.
Bina. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct. That's incredible. We love teamwork.
I love to just like juice the shit out of Mason. Like every time you do it, everyone's like, "Fuck yeah!"
Only
like,
good
God.
things happen when people stack buffs on Mason.
Yes.
It is so good.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. I don't even know if this is like a what we need to be doing, but Mason, it is, but absolutely is. But it's like Mason is trying to learn if our families were here,
Okay.
and if Anira is like using magic to well, not magic, but to teleport.
Okay, interesting. So as you kind of like begin investigating out, Ada's working their magic. You are sort of kind of spiraling out from kind of the cortex, looking in some of the corridors and the cortex itself. As you kind of return to kind of the junction box where you found this this data screen, you kind of look around and like the floor is mostly deck kind of like grating rather than like deck plates. But in this area there's in this area near the junction box specifically, there is one place where it is like directly in front of the junction box where it is deck plating, that sort of separates the areas of just grating. And as you kind of lean down to kind of look at it, you see what appears to be it appears as you get closer to it, you can see that it's definitely dirt of some kind. And the more you look at it, the more you see that it's kind of there in an odd pattern. Sort of a pattern like as if it was once kind of as if it had been like it's kind of gathered up in a very specific way that indicates kind of like a water pattern. So as you like
Okay.
More than
Like
that,
a drop.
it's bigger than that. I mean, it's just sort of in like it's not a particularly large area, but there basically is like dirt that has in sort of a, we'll say just sort of like a 1 foot by 1 foot kind of area where there is dirt that is kind of, that seems like it has been collected in such a way that indicates sort of a water pattern. There is no water there currently, but it doesn't look like there's nowhere that there would be dirt on a like on
So
a
someone left it behind. Yeah, someone had dirt on them, essentially.
yeah, and also
Like on a boot, like a boot print or something.
water maybe.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like given running with the boot print angle, it probably isn't more than would have been tracked in by one person.
Mm-hmm.
It's about what would have likely been on the bottom of one person's boot or shoe.
Oh. I can't. I don't know if I'm not. I don't think I can analyze the dirt. Can I?
You could collect it at
Can
the
I
very
try
least.
Can I collect the dirt to analyze it?
Yeah.
With yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
any? And there's no. It's not like a trick. The flooring is not like a trick plate. There's no underneath the flooring. It's all solid.
It's not a hatch. No, it's
Yeah, it's not a hatch,
No. It does really just seem like sort of a deck plate that was there to sort of separate sections of grating.
Okay. I'm gonna collect the dirt. Is there a way to look with my I don't know if this is gonna work, but with my investigator's eyeglass thing, can I like scan the dirt?
You can definitely scan it with that. I don't know that you're going to be able to do like a full like analysis of the dirt itself with that, but at least not with that alone.
Okay, I'll bring the dirt back.
Mm-hmm.
And like look a little bit silly, but have a dirt sample.
I've got a jar of dirt. Sorry, that's what I was thinking this whole time. I'm so sorry.
It had to come out.
I found some dirt in an odd pattern around the corner. I was trying to figure out if Oneira is if our families were here or not, and if Oneira is teleporting them all or if they're somewhere stationary.
And what do you think?
I don't know. I just found this dirt.
I mean,
Vix.
I don't see where it could come from.
Vix just sort of goes, good. Dirt is good. That's I'm missing something.
Me too.
We could probably send this over and see if we can get analyzed. At the very least, from one sense, soil samples are pretty unique from country to country, let alone planet to planet. So that could help narrow things down, at the very least, to where Oneira is or has been.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that here or now. I don't think Ada brought any equipment for that, and that seems more April's department than anything else.
That's fine. I'm just trying to keep my mind busy.
Yeah, no, every little helps. And honestly, this is more than just a little.
You can hear as Ada just like curses under her breath and just says, okay, I don't know what's exactly happening here, but everything that I do, I'm trying to backtrace the feed, the signal that I'm receiving to the new data screen, and it's just sending me on a loop back to she like pulls out the original one. She says back to this one. And if she wanted, she clearly
Feedback loop.
She clearly wants us to follow, but because otherwise, why go through the effort of leaving all these breadcrumbs? But
maybe do they need to be together?
She kind of frowns. What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, I only know the mechanical side, and I don't. But if it's leading itself back to the beginning, it's a loop, that's a connection. Do they need to be connected to move forward?
Interesting. Hold on. And you can see it then basically like starts disconnecting a bunch of stuff and starts connecting it all back together so that it, like.
Can I help at all?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just.
We have Orzai crew, which is a benefit that I paid for, so we get an asset to anything when me and any Orzai or me and any empath are working
Hell
together.
yeah.
We do that.
Hell yeah.
Great. So as the two of you are working together, Ada just sort of begins just disconnects everything and connects it all back up so that both data screens are like hooked up to the whole apparatus. As she just sort of like goes through and goes, okay, what I can try to do is run a recursive algorithm that'll try to basically layer the feeds or layer the signals from both on top of each other. It was a common technique used to obfuscate signals back in, the early days of the Commonwealth, back when they were fighting to establish it. But it was a way that used to sort of send obscure locations for dead drops, supply caches, the like. Let me see if I can...
It's basically the equivalent of us like using a burner phone, like a Nokia now to like.
Yeah, kinda. Says, so when I layer the two nearly identical signals on top of each other, if she did that, then probably what will happen is, there it is. And you, Bina, watch as the signal basically like resolves itself, and like just literally like both signals on the screen like move. They like move, and Ada goes, "That wasn't me. They just arranged themselves like that." And you can see that the signals are almost identical but not quite, and you can see as they resolve themselves on top of each other, the amplitudes of the waves change, and of the signal waves change, and you can see that it resolves itself into one single signal. Ada goes, "Good thought.
Where does that one go now?
Let's find out." And she just continues going through it. So go ahead and take an XP for that.
I've never felt so smart.
So cool.
Well done. So as Ada kind of continues working, finishes this. Got it. I got the location. It's okay. I mean, I found the location, but there's nothing out there. It's just out in the middle of space.
Is there another relay?
Not that I can see. It's nowhere on the relay map. And I would know. I updated my relay map when I jacked in here.
Being a knowledge question, things vessels can be anchored in like static in space.
They can, yes.
That's how they do stations, right?
Mhm.
Like, so it could still, I mean, there could still be something there, even if it's not like a mappable thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or it could just be a thing that isn't on maps because someone doesn't want it on maps. But I mean, there are options. Doesn't mean it's dead space just because it looks like it is.
Very
Still,
true.
I'm not sure I want to risk jumping out into the middle of space.
Yeah. I could I mean I can with my suit I can at least last for a while if I used my chronic doppelganger. I can go over, keep 2 on here and wait a few seconds and I'll be able to reappear here, regardless of whether or not I stay conscious or not. So if I come back conscious, good news. If I don't, most likely bad.
Vix just, well, I can't see a single thing wrong with that plan. Do it.
How bad? Like, how bad will you be hurting if you do that a couple times? Like, if you send just yourself, like how mechanically, like how much are you spending?
I'll only spend 3. Even with the time leap is eaten up by my edge anyway. So
Still a lot. It's your call. If you want to do that, you can. But if we want to brainstorm other ideas, that is also on the table. Because I don't want to burn Tan out.
yeah, no, my suit can sustain in space for a while. I've done it before. I just took someone with me out into space for a few seconds and was able to survive that.
Ada's just says, hang on a second. Let's just stop for just a second and think this through.
Yeah.
If there was any other way, I suggest we try that first before just randomly jumping to middle of nowhere.
Ada, you have the coordinates, yeah?
Yes, they're right here.
Are the coordinates?
Sorry, what'd you say, Caitlin?
Sorry. Where in the galaxy are the coordinates?
The coordinates for okay, so first of all, I should probably tell you where you are currently.
Yes. Oh, that would be great too. Actually, yes.
So the original relay beacon was not actually that far away from the usurpers, like the usurpers world. Yeah. So it wasn't just probably like a day's travel with Awakener. Maybe not even that. This beacon is in kind of the basically dead center in the middle of Commonwealth space.
Oh, okay.
The beacon that the coordinates that Ada has just pulled up are sort of in a region of space that is actually pretty close to like the sector of space that the Orzai homeworld is. It's not like it's not in like any particular. It's not like in Commonwealth space, and it's not in Ascendancy space. It's just sort of
they're unaligned. Yeah, they're that's core word, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is core word.
Like, would it be like?
So
So how much of like a trek is like if we had Awakener right now, like how long would it be if we were to like fly there?
if you were to fly there from here,
Well, it'd be from if we'd have to go back and get
oh,
Awakener
like from where Awakener is currently.
Yeah.
So
it'd be a bit. It'd be.
it would be a while. It
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
be.
not something we can do
It
quick.
might actually take longer than it would
Yeah.
take to get to Sulon, mainly because there isn't as easy conduit access.
That's fair. We're kind of in the middle, the
Mhm.
boonies of the galaxy. Nothing's up there.
Mhm.
It has to be places you've seen before, right? To like,
For me,
Peach,
no,
sorry.
I just for Peach.
sorry,
Yeah,
to,
no,
like,
no,
to,
no.
like see.
So for,
Or-
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I could take us there, like I could transport us there, but I couldn't look at it if
Look,
since
yeah,
I
that's-
haven't been there. Yeah,
that
I
was
just
what I was
actually
thinking.
pulled up the rules to look to see if I could do it.
I mean, there's things that you can do. I mean, you can make additional expenditures, or you can spend XP to try to like sort of alter the way that the ability works. So those are.
Yeah.
Is there a thing like Google Maps by any chance?
Live feed.
Like,
Every coordinate in space.
I think that's pretty safe to say that no, there wouldn't be.
Okay.
That
So-
would be
so this-
really difficult to like.
How? Okay, sorry. When you say near Orzai homeworld, like how near? Like, is this an
Just in the
area of
same-
space I'm
like-
familiar with?
Kinda. It's like in the same sector, basically, of space. Like it's
Okay.
not. It's kind of the same region of space, but like, yeah.
And it's in unaligned space.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
So for distance viewing, it says I can create a sensor in a place I've visited or viewed. But if I have the coordinates
Viewed the
specifically,
I think.
and
Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
and I mean, with Chamber of Dreams, I can just go to a place that I know where it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I think
So-
that's probably fair. Like, especially the fact that you have the coordinates.
Like tying those abilities together, like using like do you
Yes.
think I could make a sensor to look?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Like
that's.
spend
Okay.
for the bigger ability to get the smaller ability with the bigger ability benefits. Or
Yeah,
something
that
like
would be good.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So it's like you create a sensor and then you send it through the like.
Ah, that's pretty much what happens.
Yeah, it's like you're
I
sending it
love
through
that.
through dream space, but like without like creating like a hole big enough for yourself to get into. You're just like, yeah,
That's wild.
sure.
Love
So
that.
we'll go with that.
I love this game.
So you can just see, right? It just allows you to like see it once you do it.
Yeah, it says the sensor lasts for 1 hour. Once it's created, I can concentrate to see, hear, and smell through the sensor.
Okay, great. So you're gonna learn what outer space smells like. No, this is the most
I
important
would
thing
like
that.
to know, Lucas. I want to know what
What would
outer
it
space
smell
smells
like?
like.
Freshly cut grass.
Yes,
Or what this
exactly.
galaxy smells like. We can say whatever we want about how this galaxy smells.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
exactly. Exactly. We made this. We know what it smells like. Nobody else can tell us. Anyway,
Space once.
Oh, this is good. Well, we can't hear it, so we have to smell it, right?
that's
So what
fair.
do I hear? What do I see? What do I smell?
So you hear nothing because sound doesn't travel in space.
Right.
You but you when you look through this sensor at the coordinates, you are in what seems to be the bridge of a ship.
Two
the-
for two, baby.
the bridge is looking out over just sort of an open, empty starfield. And as you sort of like look around the area, the bridge appears to be completely deserted. All the ship's systems are sort of set in kind of like a. They seem to be like in standby, in some sort of standby, but basically anchoring the ship to the location. As you look around you, does not appear to be signs of anyone, from this perspective at least, no signs of anyone on the ship, from what the sensor can see currently.
And I don't see immediately like a data pad or anything like that.
No.
Okay. as I'm seeing everything, I'm kind of narrating like what I'm seeing essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like there's anyone around, but we should be safe to transport there and not die in the abyss of space.
Okay. I will be entirely honest with you. I'm running a bit low, especially after dropping off some of the
I can take
squad.
this
So if
one.
you could, I'd appreciate that.
Good tag team.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you open a portal into dream space.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up a door.
All right.
Okay.
So, once again, the familiar door opens to Peach's dream space, and as you step through into that kind of sort of well and tastefully decorated antechamber, you you see what is very clearly the door of a ship, like a bulkhead door that just sort of materializes, and as that door opens, you step out into the bridge of the ship, the very same one that Peach saw. Um,
How long has passed since we dropped off at the relay station? Literally like seconds ago. How long had passed since then?
since
So the relay station we're just at. How long ago had we first arrived?
Uh,
Basically, I'm asking because I did
yeah.
a recovery roll. Once
Oh,
I
gotcha.
arrived.
I would say
I
that
wanted to make it
yeah.
a 10-minute one.
Right. No, I'd say that you probably were there maybe like a good hour or so.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah. It would have taken Ada a while to like sort of run the like kind of backtrace the signal.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, you find yourselves on the ship, and literally as soon as you step foot on the bridge of the ship, you see lights start coming on, as the ship sort of exits standby mode. I will say that immediately, all of you feel something is off, like physically, like there's almost like a strange charged static feeling to the air.
I see anything that is illusioned, disguised,
No.
not corporeal? Okay.
That's not true. Not on the bridge. But as you look out beyond the bridge, you see what Peach couldn't see, which is there does appear to be some sort of spatial distortion in front of the ship. You can't like there's nothing there. Like it is just the distortion. It is just the distortion. It's not like it's an illusion or anything like that hiding something. It's not like a cloaking field or anything. It literally is just a spatial distortion.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
This
And
feels weird.
there's something out front, and she's facing the out the front view.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't reckon. Does it look like any like it's just a generic distortion? Like it doesn't seem familiar in any way.
I mean, it doesn't look like something that you've seen before. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of strange things.
You've seen a lot
I
of
just wanna
weird
make sure it
stuff,
wasn't
yeah.
familiar, yeah.
No,
Cool.
this doesn't look particularly familiar to you. You, as you're kind of like looking out the bridge, Peach, you say about you make a comment about the feeling. Vix nods. Yeah, I feel it too. What the hell is that? And then he sort of stops for a moment and just says, I have no idea how you're feeling. He looks at you, Peach, says, I have no idea how you're feeling.
Ina?
Can I feel anybody?
Yeah, you can feel people, but like Orzai can kind of do that
Oh yeah, I can do
anyway.
that anyways.
Ken will,
Yeah.
Ken will try to like do a quick little fast step.
Nope. Doesn't happen.
Oh
No.
God.
Your powers aren't working?
No.
Can I still the sensor is still active for an hour if I concentrate on it? Can I use it? Do I
You cannot. You are aware that it is there, but like you are sort of like you have a vague awareness that the sensor is still present, but you cannot access it.
I am in the pilot seat right now, trying to get this
Yeah.
ship to talk to me.
As
What's up?
you're looking at it and you're watching, it wasn't just lights and sort of like systems coming back online. You're also watching as seemingly triggered by your presence, the ship has begun moving directly towards the distortion.
Okay, cool. Does it have like a route tracked, or is it just moving forward into the distortion?
It looks like it does have a route track, yes. Just sort of at a quick glance, you can see that it's a pre-programmed destination. The interesting thing is that the pre-programmed destination is one that, like, you can see up, like, the route that the ship is supposed to take up until the distortion, and then beyond that, it is just garbled nonsense.
Do we let it take us where it's trying to take us, or do we want to gut this real quick so we stop moving? And she just looks back at everyone. She has no idea what to do.
I don't know. I would gut it. I will see if I can look around and see if there's any clues or anything around in this ship.
You want me to stop?
Do what you can.
Okay,
that's
I want
the
to see what I
best
can do to
choice.
put
Yeah.
to stop.
Yeah.
To put a hold
Jade-
on emergency brakes.
Oh, what were you saying, Freeman?
I'm gonna just join Taeyeon. I'll join you
Okay.
to pick up some clues if we can.
Jade looks at you, Bina, and like leans down to like help you, and just says, just in case somehow this is not a big elaborate trap to send us to our doom, maybe we make it reversible.
Yes, that's exactly how I figured.
Okay, great.
I just want to force an emergency stop. That's all.
Okay.
And
He
if,
says,
if Ada wants to get in here too, we
Yeah.
might need some help.
Jade says, I'm gonna try to find an engine room. So if we need to make any disconnections, you just let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
He's just says 1 second, and he goes, comms check.
Comms
You
check?
you hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're good. Okay.
Affirmative.
Okay. And Jade just like runs, starts kind of
I'm
like
gonna get.
he
I was gonna say I want to get
sprints
Alma
out of the bridge.
in the
Mhm.
into the like
Is
controls.
Alma with you?
Or sorry, not Alma. Ada. My
Oh,
bad.
okay, Ada,
Too
yeah.
many A names. Got excited. No, Ada. I see if I can get Ada in front of the like computers in the pilot seat, and I want to go physical, mechanical.
Okay.
Or stop.
Yeah.
Ship.
Ada just starts like typing away. She says, "I am locked out. This is going to take a
Okay.
full system bypass. We
Okay.
don't have time for that."
No, I can do it. And I'm gonna get under, and I'm gonna get into
Okay.
the guts.
Yeah, you get underneath. I'm gonna have you make a roll. This will be
Yes.
a speed task.
Yes.
The difficulty of which will be 7.
Delightful. Okay.
Mhm.
So.
Also, thank you, Cypher Unlimited, for the raid. Welcome,
Thank
everybody.
you. Mechanic.
Yes, that'll. Yeah.
5. Jury rigging. This is not the proper use of any of these.
I don't know if jury rigging counts in this case because
That's
you're
fair.
taking it apart. So you're
Understandable.
not putting together something that's not supposed to work that way. You're taking something apart.
Makes sense. Task involving sight.
No, not here.
And then I have 2 free levels. Perception? That's not gonna help me here, is it?
No, I don't think so.
His ability I forgot I had because I had it listed in the wrong spot. Okay. Is Ada helping me?
Not really because she can't get into the system.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I have my tools. Do I get an asset for my tools?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, asset for my tools. Asset from getting
Perfect. So you're down to a
I'm gonna-
difficulty 1 right now.
I'm gonna roll on the
Okay, you just need a 3 or better.
That is.
What did you roll?
Aha.
No, I'm gonna use the. I am going to use.
Oh.
I'm gonna use the one I got from being smart.
Absolutely incredible.
What a bummer! Oh, what a bummer. Good. I'm just maybe I need to.
It's
get
cool
me
because
new
it's like you
dice.
were banking your intelligence from earlier to like assist you.
Good lord, that's embarrassing actually. That's a 3. I made
Well,
it. But
you
that's
did
a
it.
3.
Yeah, you just
My
like you can
God.
feel as you're like underneath the guts, you can feel the ship's FTL engines sort of revving up as you like reach in and you're like, I don't know what to, and you just like instinctually you just reach in, you grab something and just yank, and immediately you feel everything just. Um, Systems are still active, but the propulsion system has been disconnected from the nav computer.
Okay, we're dead in the water. Do what you gotta do really fast.
All right, we'll cut to Taeon and Mason, who are exploring the like you were looking around, right? That's what you were.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
like
And-
as you were leaving the bridge, Jade like runs, like sprints past you. It's like, sorry, I gotta get to the engine room. Be right back. It's just like,
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be looking around for any signs of any living person,
okay.
creature, anything.
Yeah.
On this ship.
Yeah, you start going kind of room by room, the two of you, and as you do so, there, what you find very quickly is that this ship, pretty much just a skeleton. Like, where there are places where there should be kind of like modules installed, places where you could have like quarters or whatever modules installed, but there are no modules, and currently all of the most of the access hatches lead to the superstructure of the ship. All of it's still within the ship's artificial atmosphere, just there's nothing there besides just like the superstructure. And
Okay.
so, but as you kind of continue searching, you do find that there is what appears to be, just like Awakener has certain parts of it that are just part of like part of the basic ship. This ship seems to as well, and it seems like this was designed as some sort of medical vessel, because it does have a med bay, and like seemingly as like included as part of the overall design of the vessel.
I'm guessing it doesn't have any like actual medication or anything like that. Just.
No, it's not
structure.
stocked. It does have some like basic equipment, but like some just sort of general kind of diagnostics and analysis equipment, and just like but not it's not stocked with any kind of supplies or anything like that.
Okay. Okay. I mean, at the very least, it seems like this place is clear, and this is not where they're keeping everyone.
Great,
Wait,
Jim, real quick.
what-
Did you say there was equipment there, just not like supplies?
Yeah, basic equipment.
We've got a jar of dirt.
Oh yes, I have a jar of dirt and there's equipment. Do I know how to use it?
I would say that you've probably watched Abriel use some of this equipment enough to like. Yeah, probably. Between you and
Well-
Taeon, you could probably figure it out.
Vix might
Yeah.
know he was a scientist.
That's true. Vix is
Vix is a scientist.
He
fun
just
fact.
he just doesn't seem like a scientist because he's
Yeah. In
yeah.
his past life.
I'll give Vix a ping, then I'm like,
Yeah.
Vix, we're gonna need you over at the med bay. I was like, give general directions of
Yeah.
how to get the med bay.
Says, you just hear his voice return over comms, just go, "Oh, good to know that while the ship's hurtling to its inevitable doom, we at least we have a med bay." He says, "I'll be there in a second."
And it says, ship is actually stopped right now, so do what you gotta do. But
Great, slightly
Great attitude, though.
slightly less inevitable doom. And he just after like just a couple minutes, Vix catches up with you in the med bay. He kind of looks around and says, "Whew, this is rough, but yeah. What did you need?"
Have any idea how to?
Let's
like,
examine this
point
dirt.
of
Great. You know what I was thinking to myself this morning when I got up? Man, I'd really love an opportunity to look at some dirt. And he like takes the sample from you and walks over to the to like some of the equipment and starts kind of messing with it. Says, "Yeah, I think I could. Okay, it's not really designed for this, but I might be able to get us something. I don't know.
Something is good.
At the
Mason
very least,
says,
it'll analyze some of the compounds in the dirt, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
that,
if it's-
that's honestly great.
It was designed to analyze organic tissue, but I mean, a compound is a compound, so he just sort of like looks at it and just starts kind of like running the scan, and just starts drumming his fingers on the desk and just going, "So, anybody know any good jokes?" Um, and we'll
Kind of
cut
just sighs.
we'll cut back to the bridge where Peach, you're just sort of standing there, just still watching Bina and Ada kind of work.
Yeah, and I also wanted to like kind of eye the distortion and see if I can like kind of glean anything about it, or like I mostly want to try to figure out if this is like a warp in space that like Oneira has put in here, or if this is like something that is naturally occurring.
Well, at the very least, I can answer the first part of that question because it does not have her signature on it. Like
Okay.
it does not have the same kind of signature that the minor distortions she left behind as markers has. So whether it's naturally occurring or not is a totally different story.
Yeah.
But at the very least, you know she didn't make it.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
But yeah, otherwise, I think there is an insight to be had here. But as we know, because I finally learned how insight works, you would need to spend 2 XP in order to receive the insight.
2 XP.
Yes.
I would spend my remaining 2 XP.
Okay, great. The more you look at this, the more it seems like something. It's not exact, which is maybe why it didn't seem like super familiar right away, but it is not unlike the kind of distortion that you experience when Taeon teleports. As you're looking at it, the more you look at it, the more you become fairly certain that what you're looking at is a space-time distortion. Basically, if you want to be more specific than that, this is a wormhole.
Okay. So, Bina, Ada, I've been looking at this thing. The way it works is an awful lot like Taeon space-time distortion. So we really don't want to go in there unless they want to be projected to a different time or torn apart in a wormhole.
Trying to take us somewhere. She's trying to take us somewhere.
Yeah.
Ada frowns, just says, if she wanted us to go somewhere, why put us through this? Why not just send us there like she has been with the coordinates?
Drama.
Maybe.
Hey, Taeon.
Yeah?
How... have you ever encountered other time-space anomalies?
I think we have one here for you.
Yeah. Maybe you can smell it. Tell us where it's going.
I can see, and I will just teleport back up.
Yeah.
I can't teleport.
Yeah, I know you can't.
Been nullified, actually, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I probably try to teleport.
Yeah, just sort of reflexively and just...
Yeah, and then I hurry back up. So you're saying...
Yeah, it had some of the same signatures that you when you teleport.
Okay, so it's like some kind of wormhole. It's definitely not a black hole at the very least. That much would be very obvious. And would need a propulsors to get there. I don't know how much I can do right now, but I can see if I can feel anything about it. Feeling my power nullified, I don't know how much I have actually access to, but we'll see. And I guess I would try. I don't know if I really can right now. Usually I'm able to tell the difference between dimensions with one of my abilities, but can I feel
Listen to
anything
it.
now? Yeah. Like,
So-
can I feel, is it like a different, will it send into the same, like, will it be in the same dimension, but just a different place in space, or what can I tell from
I didn't
this?
know. I didn't know you could sense that. That's so cool.
That is really cool. I didn't know that either.
Wait, hold on. If a player asks for an insight,
It's 3 intellect.
3 intellect.
Mhm.
Is this
Yeah, I can spend
something that they could ask for a An insight on?
You could ask for an
Is
insight.
power related?
Mhm.
Is that yeah? Maybe.
Yeah, I will ask for that insight.
Okay, great.
We're still
Remember this-
remembering what we're allowed to do outside of our own.
Yeah,
abilities.
it's-
we're trying to expand. We're growing as people.
Like here we are at like in like the
Final
like
season.
final season, sort of second half of the final season, and we finally learned how
We've learned
insight
how to play
works.
Cypher.
We've learned how to play Cypher. We did it, everybody.
I'd like to
Does-
thank the friends we made along the way.
I need to check if I don't know if Edge eats into it, but yeah, I can spend that insight.
Yeah, I'd say just spend the yeah. So the question that you asked is basically like, is this is this wormhole going to send you kind of to the same dimension or
Yeah,
a
I
different
think-
one? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they're probably more worried about it sending us a different time than anything. At least
Sure.
if we're in the same space. we
Fair
can obviously
enough.
Fix that, but I think trying to gauge like, will it send us as the same time but different place, and will it be dangerous if we do that anyway?
Okay, so I can tell you just sort of as you kind of look at this, because of what Peach said, the kind of like similarities that this sort of has to your teleporting, you just sort of have you know that this is not going to send you to another time. This is primarily a spatial distortion. I mean, it is a distortion in space-time, which is sort of what allows it to behave the way that it does. But it does appear to be, first of all, you didn't ask this, but I think you would just know. It does appear to be a stable wormhole. Secondly, it appears to the properties that you kind of can glean from it tells you with certainty that this is not going to be any kind of like. Sorry, I'm now kind of going back. No, actually, sorry. Let me back up. It's both. It's both.
With send us through space and time.
Mm-hmm.
Can I gauge whether it's forward or back, or is that I probably couldn't do that?
I will
Oh,
allow
like
you
on
to
their
ask.
face, Taeyeon.
I will allow you to ask that with an XP spend.
I'll spend an XP.
It's sorry, the 2 XP, like a short, like basically as if you were, yeah.
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 I'll spend that. I've got
Okay.
enough.
Okay. It will send you forward.
Okay. I think Tal spends just like probably honestly not too long, maybe a few seconds, staring at the wormhole, and I think it's probably like less of not just a feeling, but also just knows the properties of space and time travel.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's around its distortion, there's a very particular like the light around it kind of bends and twists in a specific way, similar to Taeyeon's, and he's able to tell that, okay, so this is gonna send us through space, like you said, Peach, but also time. I can't quite tell the distance in either of those factors, but I know for sure it's going to be forward in time, which isn't great.
Yeah.
You receive. You hear Jade's voicing. Not to be that guy, but we have a new problem.
What?
Yes.
Says. So just so that we're all on the same page.
What's the problem, Jade?
So timers are bad, right?
Yeah, generally.
Yes.
What's counting down, Jade?
I am gonna guess a bomb.
What's the
Oh.
time at?
We're at about 5 minutes.
Okay.
A little under 5 minutes.
It turns to the other two people in the bridge, like, you
Says-
decide something. I'm gonna go try to defuse a bomb, and she's gonna go
Yeah.
down in the engine.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go try to defuse another bomb. I'm trying to do this before. Your average Wednesday. Blah. No, Bean is not that caustic. That's okay. A tornado warning in the middle of the street. Nevertheless, we persevere. I'm on my way to go defuse a bomb. Okay.
Good. Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna send us forward in time to a different place and space as well. I honestly can't even tell you if we're gonna be in the same galaxy, so that's another thing that we probably have to worry about. Yeah, I think regardless, we're probably gonna be cutting it close if we even make it back to Sulon in time.
Yeah. Let's see if Bina can
All right.
deal with this bomb,
We will
and
cut-
if not, we might be going forward.
We'll cut to Medbay as Vix and Mason are just sort of sitting there. Vix just sort of like staring up at the ceiling, like literally like arms hanging, like just sort of staring up at the ceiling. And you hear just sort of like a little beep from the machine, and Vix just sort of, okay, hold on, let's see, here we go. Okay, the machine has finished analyzing the results, and it looks like a bunch of stuff that you would expect to find in dirt. I don't know what this tells us, but here, he says this is a full. He like takes the data and just swipes it over to your terminal, Mason. Says this is everything that the whole full spectral analysis of the dirt. So I don't know what to tell you. That's what you got.
Mason's gonna look at it with like a half-smoked cigarette in his mouth and just kind of like scowling at it. Oh, thank you.
He nods. Says, what now?
Sorry, have we been hearing what's going on also
Yes,
in our earpieces
definitely.
with this? Okay. Okay. I don't know, but I feel like there's only one way forward, don't you?
It feels like somebody went through a lot of effort to make sure that was the case. And he says, sorry, by somebody I meant Oneira, and,
Well, we have to go.
yeah. Says, whatever happened to people just sending invitations, Anyway.
People are cruel.
We'll cut down to the engine room as Bina, you are arriving. And Jade is just sort of standing. You can see that there's like a panel that he has removed from the engine block, and he's just like, it looks like it's hardwired into the system, on the ship's systems, and I think maybe the countdown triggered when the ship's systems came back online when we got here, and it has been counting down ever since.
This always happened to us. Why is this? Why can't we just have like a nice afternoon? And she's gonna climb down, like crouch down to get a better look. Like you can't. It always has to be a bomb or a wormhole or. Okay, what do I see?
Yeah, you look at it. Jade's right. First of all, it is clearly hardwired into the ship's systems. More than that, I'm gonna need a roll from you. I'm gonna need an intellect task. The difficulty of this will actually, I'm not sure you're gonna need to roll. But the difficulty is going to be 4.
Okay. Grabbing another d20 because my last one was proving to be very cruel to me today. Sorry, what did you say? What number?
Difficulty 4.
4?
Mm-hmm.
Mechanic.
Yes.
Tasks involving sight.
I'm going to say no asterisk because I think there's something that you have that might be more applicable here than that.
Jury rigging, perception.
I think the jury rigging will help you.
Okay.
Yes.
That knocks it down to 0 then.
Okay, cool.
Roll,
yeah, that I think was one that's more applicable than tasks involving sight.
It's another 3, so it's whatever.
Okay, cool.
Down to 0, so it's fine. Anyways.
So, it is hardwired into the system. Because of that, you can see that basically there are any of just several dozen ways that to trigger this bomb prematurely. And basically, actually, as you look at it, you can tell that it's basically been specifically hardwired into not just the ship's systems to as far as the trigger for it, but also into the ship's propulsion system. Specifically, there does appear to be a excuse me. There appears to be a provisional sort of switch that is hooked into the propulsion system. The more you look at it and kind of try to determine its function, it looks like kind of like a deadband switch, basically, that's rigged into the ship's propulsion system.
So the propulsion system will set it off?
No, the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like
letting the ship go forward will stop the bomb. Is that what it's? Is that
it's kind of what it seems like.
God.
Oh.
Hey, guess what?
Jade looks at you and says, "Yes, you figured out how to disarm the bomb, and we're gonna go home immediately."
God, I wish. Nope. I think we have to go in the freaky wormhole.
He just sort of. Are you sure there's no other way to disconnect this thing?
And she looks 3 minutes and 20 seconds? Probably not. It's pretty hard in there. I'm gonna do, I don't know if there's a check I can make or anything, but just to like see if there's any possible thing I could do to disrupt this without setting it off. But you made it sound like it was just like fully like, I hate mushrooms, but like integrated into the system.
I mean, like, it does seem like there are numerous connections going to like various aspects of the system. What they look like mostly is trigger redundancies. It doesn't look like all of these are like in any way required for the functionality of the bomb.
Yeah,
it looks
just
more like
just to make sure you trip once, you're effed. You know, like
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah, pretty much.
Not in the time we have left, I don't think.
Jade says, "I have an idea, a really bad one."
I want to hear it even more.
Let me just, before I say anything, I do want to say it's a really bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What if we let the bomb go off?
Okay, have you ever absorbed a bomb before?
No, I've never absorbed a bomb before.
But I've absorbed a bomb.
Okay, but I've absorbed enough. I became a bomb kind of at the last place, and
okay, think about this. Do you know how close we are to a wormhole right now? You want to set up an explosion next to a wormhole? We're gonna destabilize the whole thing. If you miss it at all of us are gonna die.
Okay, but remember when Taeyeon told us about how he reversed a grenade? Literally reversed a grenade?
Okay, but he has time powers.
Yeah, and I have energy powers.
Yeah, but you would have to absorb the bomb.
Yes.
I don't...
But think about it. I could just convert the energy.
And then where are you gonna put it? Or on a ship that we can't get out of?
Well, I didn't get that far yet.
I don't think you're gonna be able to nap out of that. I don't know how... Yeah. It's a really good idea. Actually, really liked it. We're just down to 2 minutes and 32 seconds, and I don't think we have enough time to prepare for that or an exit strategy, but I really like the initiative.
I'm getting a lot of mixed messages here.
I know. I'm very proud of
Vina,
you.
how's it going down there?
We've gone through, I think, all available options. They were all very good and exciting and things that maybe we could have done if we had more time. I'm just like looking at Jake.
So no bomb defusal is.
They're like next to the bomb.
No diffuse.
Yeah, no, it's pretty tied down deep in. But it looks like there is a way to stop it. We're just not gonna like it.
The way.
Forward.
Go through.
Mm-hmm.
I will get started on hooking things up. I understand enough about mechanics to at least start. You can make your way up here. Sound like you said, how long do we have left?
Minute 52.
Okay.
I'm just saying numbers.
Yeah.
No,
No, that's totally fine. No, completely fine.
I'm gonna dive underneath and begin the process as being the expert. Like heads up.
Yeah.
And Ada's up there. Ada can just undo what we did. Like.
Yeah, Ada's just sort of like
Face on
crouching
Ada.
down next to you, like directing you, like as you're like.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe Taeyeon can like. I don't know.
I just like walked over to the console.
Yeah. we're going through it. I don't know how to make us not have powers. You know, that would be great because then maybe you could guide us a little bit through it. And she's like walking back up to the up to the bridge, talking out loud and not really making any solid points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can figure that out when the timer stopped. I quite literally cannot do anything while we're stuck here and explosions are about to go off.
We'll cut to Mason and Vix returning to the bridge as well. Vix just says, "We analyzed some dirt. Is that helpful?"
Yeah, what did you get back? Were you able to narrow it down to any specific planet or anything like that? Usually the soil composition in different planets are fairly different with the livestock and stuff.
Was there?
Huh?
Was there?
You can try to run it through a database of planets if you wanted to.
I mean, I will. I also have a skill botany, if that helps.
Interesting.
I mean,
From way back in the day.
That's so funny. I forgot about that.
I mean, you could
Okay,
if there were any plant life
So here's the thing. It
Final
is
season, bring it all back.
it is technically not relevant, but I'm inclined to let you use it just because.
30 seconds till an explosion. You're like looking at the dirt.
I know.
The planet.
I know. Why am I doing this? Someone stop me. Someone stop
I mean,
me.
what
Someone
else
knock
can we
me
do?
out.
They're starting the ship. We're just standing here, like watching, like,
Oh
oh,
my
god,
God.
5 seconds.
This
of
is the
disaster.
most interesting dirt in the whole galaxy.
I think we should spend another
Damn.
hour and a half talking about the dirt. Actually, we should go over specifically to analyze the dirt in real time.
It's
Oh
from
my
a
God.
beach that we'll never go to.
Yeah. Now we have to have a second beach episode.
Oh my. Okay.
Sorry,
hold on.
sorry.
This time the sand will try to eat us.
Oh no.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna let you use that.
Okay.
because,
Sounds
that's
good.
incredible.
So good.
And I completely forgot that you had that. But yeah.
Never relevant until now.
Then maybe he rolls his own cigarettes. He dehydrates the tobacco. And, we don't know.
it's healthier
What he
that
does in
way,
his
I think.
room
Oh
in his
my
own time.
god. Okay, so I'm gonna have you make an
It's true.
intellect task.
Okay.
This is gonna be a difficulty. It's gonna be a difficulty 5 intellect task here.
Okay. All right.
Reduced by 1, right? Because I assume you're just trained in botany, right?
I'm just trained in
Okay,
botany,
so you're reduced by 1, so it's now a difficulty 4.
But now I want to specialize in it. Just okay. All right. Investigation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Specialize. So down to 2. So
Down-
there's 2 to go.
Mm-hmm.
Identify.
Is that a skill?
It's just
that you
a,
have?
it's just a
That's
skill.
amazing.
yeah.
I love that. Yes, absolutely.
I just took all these things that I thought would be
Yes,
just
absolutely.
stack on
I love
top.
how this is just the episode where Freeman makes use of all of the skills that he like.
He's never used.
Well, I've used it before, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Perception. I mean, we're kind of like
No,
going
not-
in and out of different.
No.
Okay. I'll roll on a 1.
Okay. Yeah, you just need a 3 or better.
8.
Okay. You start running it through something figuring probably like the chances of you running through like a match through a database of planets that like is enormous and getting a result anytime soon are very small. But you figure you'll set it up and let it run in the background and see if maybe something comes up at some point, right? But you're surprised when almost immediately you get a ping back. Like a 93% match. And as you look at the planet, you see the reason that it has that it came up so quickly. Running a reverse search, starting first with the search algorithm starting with planets that are relevant to like the crew and that. Pretty much immediately, you get a ping back, and the planet of origin that seems to have like a 93% match for is the planet where the resistance base was located.
How do you like that? The dirt said it all. Mason says out loud, like
Yeah.
cigarette slowly burning away.
Vix like looks over your shoulder. He's like,
The dirt?
I'm gonna be looking at a lot more dirt from now on.
Right?
What the hell?
You see that?
Taking us there?
That's my guess.
Hey, we have like 2 seconds to like. Can I really flip this? Can we move forward so that this?
Yeah, legitimately,
explode.
like
Yeah, Bina
Tan's
walks
like
in and
Tan's
gets
like
under Tan.
looking at like the two last connectors, like which one goes in the. Bina just like takes them out of your hands, just
Okay, yeah.
Has it and then like puts propulsion forward. I don't know how much it will actually let me control, but like slow. Like I want to. We're moving forward, but like as slow as possible. So
Yeah,
we have like
you-
like an extra 5 seconds.
yeah.
To finish
Immediately,
it out.
like as soon as the propulsion, like you hear the. Jade looks. You hear Jade's voice says, "Okay, timer stopped."
Okay, good. I don't even want to know where we stopped at, but we're just gonna pretend it's all fine.
Why don't I just take a picture and show it to you when we're out of this situation?
That'd be great. Actually, we can laugh about it when we're alive. Okay, who's ready to jump through a wormhole? 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
Ready.
not.
Absolutely.
You're all way too enthusiastic about that. I was being facetious. Okay, I'm gonna
mean,
sit in a chair and just watch.
I mean, what can we do but be excited at this point?
Yeah.
Be terrified. Actually, I think would be possibly up there on the list of things we could do.
We have loved ones through that wormhole.
And I can still be terrified while going to rescue them. Just
We'll have time for that later.
that's fair.
It's okay to be afraid too.
Don't I know it?
At this point, the FTL engine revs up fully, and the ship jumps through the wormhole. It is a bumpy ride, to say the least, as you feel like your teeth shaking as you're being sort of like conveyed through this distortion in space-time. There's this moment where everything around you feels like it stops. You are fully aware, but everything around you just is completely still, just sort of your eyes moving, sort of making eye contact with each other, as everything is held in suspense for 1 second or possibly an eternity. And then suddenly, you are out in space, the FTL engines winding down as you jump back into real space, seeing ahead of you a planet that is very familiar, surrounded by one fully functioning orbital mirror and several sort of partially constructed orbital mirrors. A single satellite station that even from here you can see slowly orbiting the world. The world itself covered in snow and thick sheets of ice and glaciers and high mountains. There, you can even see from here the remnants of sort of a debris field. Evidence of the aftermath of your attempt to escape. As you proceed forward, you see the ship's sensors begin sort of blinking on. And you can see that there is a course heading, once again, what once was just garbled nonsense for the autopilot, you can tell is leading you directly towards the Resistance base.
Oh, what date it is?
As you look at the date, you can see that the date has advanced about 7 days.
And how long it would have taken us to just like fly there?
Probably a bit longer, I imagine.
The wormhole was faster.
Just
Maybe.
I would like. Can I look up any news on Sulon?
This ship does not have external connections.
Oh, it doesn't.
We got to get down to base and we'll check we can go through the relays.
Yeah.
Home sweet home.
I'll
Sort
see
of-
if it'll let me. I'll try to land. I'll try to bring us down and land us.
Thank you.
It will not allow you to do that. However, you do see that automated docking procedures have been activated.
Supervised while
Can
the
I-
ship parks itself.
Can I try to dreamcraft something like a glass of just like a glass of water, like anything? Can I make anything?
No, nothing.
It's weird.
The ship reaches atmosphere, and you can feel that sort of like jarring, sort of shaking sensation as you break atmo. Before too long, the ship is soaring through the skies of the planet that once housed the Resistance base. And just another moment or two later, you see the Resistance base and the mountain range that it's housed in. And just a few more seconds that go by, you can see up ahead of you the yawning mouth of the hangar as the ship that you are on reaches it and begins to land. As it touches down, you see as the hangar itself begins to darken as the doors to the hangar close behind the ship. The ship finishes touching down, and then you hear and feel the ship itself just sort of powering down, and then you just see a message flash across sort of the main operating monitor. It just says manual function restored.
Can I try to glow, but like can I try to light my seat light up? Like, can I try to like use my power to like make my seat light up or something?
Yeah, you reach over and your hand immediately begins to glow, and as you touch the seat,
What's the handprint?
Yep.
Something in the ship that dampened the powers. Okay, so now it's off. Ooh.
Guess
Hated that.
welcome home.
Kind of poetic, isn't it?
Wasn't much of a literature person. Let's see what we can do.
We will disembark.
Okay. You all together kind of reconvening at the loading ramp. You watch as the loading ramp begins to lower itself, and the door just opens up, and you can feel the frigid air of the base that has been largely unoccupied for months filters into the ship. You kind of take one last glance at each other, and with a nod, you walk down the ramp into the base to this location that one of your greatest enemies has led you. And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Terrifying.
Cool.
I'm so sweaty. I'm so stressed out.
I can't believe she's keeping them here. This is so evil.
You don't even know this could just be a stop. We don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so many.
It would be so evil if they were here. Oh,
Venus'
How did she
parents are
get her
homebodies.
hands-
They've never left the homeworld before. Why did you take them away? Ah,
now they have.
Yeah.
now they have.
Whew. All right.
Amazing.
I'm so stressed out. I love it.
Okay, I have to say right now, like fucking Bina's incredible like insights and like problem solving, Mason's
cool.
fucking detective skills, Peach and Taeyeon just like putting pieces of information together, like trying to figure shit out, just absolutely incredible. Like
We finally figured out how to play the game.
Yeah.
Aren't you all excited?
We were making moves tonight.
yeah. Oh my god, that was
For a game that started out with a tornado warning and me having to hide in my basement for 45 minutes, this turned out great.
yeah.
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 Absolutely.
This is awesome.
All right.
Everybody was so good.
Whew. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We have learned our lessons about tempting fate on Wednesdays, but
We persevered. We made it through.
we made it through. Yeah.
We respect you, Wednesday Curse. We respect you, Wednesday Curse. Please don't do it again.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you so much. That's on Sunday. I knew somebody was going to make that joke.
I was thinking it.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us tonight. If you are brand new here and have no idea what anything is happening, please do join our Discord. We have a Discord where people are happy to answer questions about this and other shows. We have the whole library of this show, all previous episodes are up on our YouTube. You can check it out there. We also do have a sort of like at a glance sheet that is somewhere. It's one of the commands in there that is in there. But yeah, if you'd like to support us, you can do so on Patreon. We have all kinds of goodies that you can benefit from. And bonus is if you subscribe to us here on Twitch and you have your Twitch connected to your Discord, you can actually have some of those Patreon benefits as well without subscribing to the Patreon. So you can do all of that there. That's going to be my basic overview pitch. We will be back right here on this very channel. It's on Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time for Ramblemancy, where we will be sitting down to talk about a topic from the earliest days of Ramblemancy, the elder days of the channel, where we'll be talking about post-apocalypse and zombies. Because Freeman, John, and I have all been very much in that headspace recently, and so why not? So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about our favorite movies, our favorite media, like analyzing the genre. We're going to be talking about all of it.
It is on Friday the 13th, so it's perfect.
That's true. Freeman freaked out when he found out that it was on Friday the 13th. Fitting. So, yeah. So you can join us on Ramblemancy. We are going to head out. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to join us. We will hopefully see you on Friday for Ramblemancy, but if not, we'll see you the next time you decide to come roll with us. Good night and good zone, everyone.